Welcome to my regular look at WTI crude oil and where that price is going to head next. Is there going to be any respite, relief from these high energy prices? Are we going to see crude oil coming down further and giving us some relief at those petrol pumps? Well, I'm going to look into the fundamentals, technicals and a bit of sentiment to see, like I say, where that price is going to go. So with that, let's get on with the analysis. So first up, Baker Hughes rig count numbers, and I like to use this as my barometer for the energy sector, how it's doing. And for the first time in a long while, we've got a negative number change from prior count along that US line. That's the key one for me. So that's more of a bearish sign, but it's not much of a change, and the change from last year still positive. So whereas it's been bullish for a long period of time, I'd say it's probably got more of a feel of neutrality. Now, US crude oil inventory numbers courtesy of investing.com. Well, last week was worse than expected, 5.458 million barrels there, as you can see, against the forecast of 0.073 million barrels. Now this week it's forecast for minus 0.117 million. Data's out Wednesday afternoon UK time, so keep a close eye on that. I look out for outlier moves more than anything with the inventory data. So into a bit of sentiment then on the charts, drawing your attention to the bottom, seasonality. As you can see from over on the right down the bottom, we have been in that sort of negative trend at the moment, but if you go over to the left, you can see it does turn bullish, for most of the rest of the year. And if we go to the COT data, large commercials, the red line, as you can see there, that's been trending up, and above that the large speculators, and that's been trending down. Now what I want to see with the price here on the top is that the large speculators are heading the same way as the price, and the large commercials are doing the inverse, and they are, and that to me is a bearish sign. So in sentiment terms, we've got bearish COT and a bearish seasonality, but changing quite soon to more stronger bullish outlook. Into the technicals then, and we've got the weekly line chart for the CL1 contract and some interesting technical analysis. We can see this purple trend line, this yellow block that I've drawn on here. I think this really is where the price is going to pull back into if it does continue downwards between 80 and say $68-70. Look for some support on that line. What's interesting with this pattern is we sort of got a shoulder here, we sort of got our heads here. So are we seeing this sort of pattern playing out? Who knows, but time will tell. But something to look out for. So the important technical line here, trend line, to watch for that break is very important. Or will it bounce and head on back upwards, looking for those highs in the $120 sort of regions? Interesting play out at the moment in terms of the price action. It has been trending down, it's come off over $20, $25, $30, and we've got a lot of volume around the lower regions, which as you can see above that it was a lot less, so we could see that price slip further into this zone. So longer term chart giving us quite a few clues of possibly what is going on. And one last bit of technical analysis I want to show you is the 2 standard deviation regression band that you can see on here. Just note how the price ranges between it, tried to pop out there and then went back up again, just broke and didn't really hold above it, back down, same here, back down. So interesting to see where we are at the moment in terms of price action. It's gone down through that standard deviation lower band, and we would expect normally from history on what we've seen on the charts that it to recover and go back that way. So very interesting times. Like I say, if it continues on down, it is pushing the boundaries of that 2 standard deviation regression trend, and we would expect a snap back upwards. But with the fundamentals as they are at the moment and these high prices, watch out for this yellow block area. And then if we go into our line break chart, This is for those who are looking for those reversals in prices. Currently got a bullish setup here at the moment. We're looking for that price to head back north, and a more aggressive entry, $94, a very conservative one around 119. You can speed up these charts by lowering the time frames. This was on a 1 day, as you can see up in the top there. Take it down to 3 hours, 1 hour, and you'll get more aggressive entry points. And then onto our daily Heikin-Ashi chart. What's going on? Well, the signals at the moment are bearish, as you can see. That's looking quite strong in terms of the longer term trend. Volatility is picking up a little bit as well, in the mid 30s. Volume nothing special, sort of flattish, slightly down. And onto the price action. Again, I'm drawn on that yellow box between 100 and 90, where there's a lot of price action playing out. We've got this down break here below that price action, but then I've drawn this trend line on here, so another key area in the shorter term for a push down south, or support to back up to the top side of this triangle before it could try and break out further north. We've also got a sell signal on the 2 pink line box breakout setup. So, you know, with that longer term trend that has been up, it's gone a bit more flat from March onwards, but still very volatile, and at the moment it's on the weak side. So then into the Req'd chart, using $1 block size for some really short term price action. And again, we've got our trend, longer term trend, which is bearish, stochastics and regression both bearish, so all bearish on the signals. And price action, as you can see, it's that March to current time, and it has been flat within this sort of biggish range there between the highs in the 130s down to, let's say, you know, early mid 80s. And we got the price pressure pushing down. We got recent sell signal to the south side, and if it does continue down, we could be looking at 81, 74, 75, and then 62. But upsides and bounces from here, then you've got to get to 102 first, and then 115, and then back to those highs at 127. But at the moment it's on the weak bearish side in the shorter term. So score time, and I'm sticking with weak bearish, which is what I came out with last time on this analysis in the last video. And we look at the other data in the top right. Seasonality still weak bearish, but about to turn bullish for most of the rest of the year. Commitment of traders definitely bearish. Rig count, first signs of switching from bullishness to a more neutral stance, so maybe some weakness there. And inventories neutral. Line break chart, if you're still bullish oil, then there were some numbers for you to get into. And in terms of the two charts, Heikin-Ashi, Renko the weaker of the two, shorter term more bearish, Heikin-Ashi as a weak bearish, and that gave me that overall score of weak bearishness still. And in terms of targets, upsides 2.11 and 3.44 to 1, downside 1.33 and 2.66 to 1. And you can improve those odds by, you know, bringing in the stops. I've been a bit more conservative this week on the analysis, and like I say, you can improve that risk return by adjusting the stops accordingly. But overall, weak bearish for WTI crude oil. So where can you trade WTI? Well, there's lots of suggestions for you in the description below. Put the links to various brokers, whether you want to trade futures, CFD, spread bets, you know, variance, the stocks underlying crude oil, all there for you. Now, crude oil still looking weak bearish, can be messed around any time by those fundamentals. Who's going to win? Let me know in those comments below. At the moment, it's looking weak bearish to bearish, and we will see how that plays out. Like I say, let me know where you think it is heading next, what is going to impact that price. And if you've liked today's video, please give us the thumbs up. Don't forget to hit the subscribe and bell buttons, and all that's left for me to say is thanks for watching, good luck with the trading, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.